Because I'm able to please myself, my man knows how to please me, or my spouse knows how to please me. You don't have to have a man, you can have whatever you have. But because I am able to please myself, my spouse is able to please me. And let's start with, how do you figure out how to please yourself? And I'm not just talking about physical pleasure, because that is part of it, yes. And we can go into detail about tantric yoga and all the things that you can start implementing into your life to start pleasing yourself. But I know what I want, and that's the beautiful part of it all. When you know what you want, that's pleasing yourself, because you're not like looking and seeking for someone else to please you. So when it comes to my career, when it comes to even something simple can be simple, like I like certain gifts. Mind you, I buy them for myself, so my man knows exactly what I like, and he will buy them for me. And that's just how that works, you know, because I know what I want, I know myself, I like to please myself, so he pleases me. We are energies that reciprocate each other, and so since we reciprocate each other, me finding out how my body feels and how my body responds to certain acts is important for the development of the relationship. This shit's hitting. Like, I feel like the channel it's open right now, and I think I'm gonna post this too, because I was like, nah, I need to get a little dressed up. Nah, I just woke up and I'm about to go to work. But either way, I think you guys get the gist. If you don't know how to please yourself, you can't have somebody else try to please you, because you're going to be like, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. I'm like, well, you're not doing enough, actually. And you should ask yourself these questions, if you're doing enough or not. Another way you can start this process is writing down a list. I'm an advocate for writing things down. Write it down, okay? Because when you write things down, you are manifesting okay, so there is 4 elements. There's fire, air, earth, water. That's the order that it goes in. So fire is that spark, that idea, that passion, that idea, that passion, that spark for that idea. And then it moves on to, okay, how can we make this happen? So you have to figure out how to flow and move. And once you figure how you're going to start moving, another way to move is through writing. You're moving your hands, right? So once you figure out how to do that, right, you move on to start seeing shit in your reality. You do, but how, I want to go back to how you move. It's not just writing shit down, like that's going to get you. You're going to have to start acting towards. So that means you're moving your body towards the things that you want. You're speaking up, using your throat chakra. That's heavy on the throat chakra. If you are a Libra, Aquarius, and Sagittarius, I think. Libra, Aquarius, Sagittarius. That sounds about right. It's air signs. I'm not sure. But if you are a air sign, let's just say that, you need to work on how you're able to flow in between things, in between conversations, in between people, in between things, because in between seasons, let's talk about seasons. Because once you figure that out, right, you are able to manifest. But if you continue to move and continue, because what I know Libra has a problem with is making a decision. Like, why the fuck could you not make a decision? So sorry, that was not okay. But regardless of anything, yes, you can keep going back and forth, and you're good at moving, obviously, but you also need to hone in on something. You have to. But if you don't know what you want, once again, you can't hone in on it, babes. You can't. That's just not how that works, you know? So once you start knowing what you want and knowing how to please yourself, you're able to manifest earth signs, things into your reality, okay? And you know, earth signs are really good with keeping things, like building things, good foundations, all the things. But sometimes earth signs can have a rocky foundation. You can build it. You can build that tower over there, but it might fall because of a landslide 5 years or 10 years out down the road, because you didn't really, you were just like, I want to build it, I want it, and you got it, but then you never really like looked at the future to things. You just kind of looked at the now, and it was like, well, let's get out of 3D, let's get out. I mean, sometimes it's good to be in the now, so we'll talk about that though in another video. But for the most part, you're only looking at the now most of the time, and so it's like, I just want to act on it. It's good and bad, but you have to use the other elements of the earth to really make sure it is stable. Going to water signs. I'm a water sign. I can flow. I can flow in conversations. I can flow in emotions. I can do it all. My thing is, sometimes I have problems sparking, well, not even sparking an idea, but acting on an idea. Like, I can create all these ideas and never act on it, because that's, it's like, I feel like I'm drowning, maybe. I'm not really sure, and I really haven't like honed in on that one, but you know, I gotta do some self-reflection on that. But water signs are, you got the manifestation. How are you keeping it up? How are you keeping it up? Is it still flowing? Is it? And so now going back to pleasuring yourself, are you consistent? Are you consistently pleasuring yourself for are you pleasuring yourself for validation, or are you pleasuring yourself for, you know, because that's what you really want, you know? If you start pleasuring yourself for validation, you will start to see things will crumble quickly. When you pleasure yourself from purpose and really wants and needs that you really desire, that shit is gonna flow to you easily. The spark will not go away. It's going to be amazing. So as a woman in society, I'm always advocating to start pleasuring yourself physically. If you want to, you know, spice things up in your relationship, or you saying like sex is bad, or I'm not coming, or whatever the fuck it is, you need to start pleasuring yourself, touching yourself. And I'm not just talking about your pussy. Like, that is, we know what it feels like to be penetrated. We know these things. We know what it feels like to rub, you know, your clitoris and all the things. Let's talk about what can be a turn on. Because if you can't list like 10 turn ons, then you don't know how to pleasure yourself. Dead ass. Like, I have turn ons that's not even touch. Don't even touch me. You can say it. You can gesture something. It can be eye contact. The pleasure game is up there. If you guys want to know more about turn-ons and like all the things, subscribe to the channel, and we can talk about that in another video, and like this video, okay? So I hope you guys found this information valuable, and I hope to see that you're, you know, stepping into pleasure and not validation. Bye.
But if you close your eyes